Alright guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be working on the alternator for that 6.2 liter diesel. This thing, I put it on, the one that was on there wasn't charging. I took this one, I believe this one came off that dually, and I had to rotate it around to get it to line up right, and it charged for the first time I cranked it up, then the next time it didn't. So what I've done is got on eBay and I picked up a little rebuild kit that comes with these little diode trio, some brushes, and a new voltage regulator. And I'm hoping that these diodes and that rectifier there is okay. So I'm going to try to test those. The first thing we want to do is I want to mark this case the way it come apart. So I'm going to just scratch a little scratch in it like that. That way I'll know how to put it back together and it'll be lined up right. So yeah, first thing we got to do is take this bracket off. It's just got a little bolt right here that holds it on, and then we'll pull out these, loosen up and remove these 4 bolts around the corners here. Alright, this bracket bolt's just a 1/2 inch headed bolt. It's a pretty short bolt. These bolts around the edge. Alright guys, well I got interrupted and had to move some hay, and now it's a little bit later and my neighbor's cutting grass and I'm hot. But anyway, we want to take these 4 bolts out. I believe it's a 5/16. My ratchet right. And my wife borrowed my truck, and my truck had the test meter in it, so I was wanting to test those rectifiers, but I ain't got a test meter, so I'm just going to replace what I got. And I think this little kit, it might have been $20 or $25. Woo, I got to have some air. Then we get a fan going here because it is freaking hot. So we'll get the rest of these out. There's actually a very good video on YouTube. I can't think of the guy's name, but I'll put the link in the bottom. And if you want to see how to test everything, we're just going to kind of separate it. Maybe that may be the problem. That part was supposed to, the stator needs to stay with the back case, and it's so corroded in there that it was pulling it. Actually, this stator looks like it's burnt up. Here's the rotor. Here's where your brushes ride. But just looking at this, I don't like the looks of this. It looks black. Here's all the guts to it in here. So, and it's corroded for some reason. You can't pull this out without unbolting these 3 bolts right here. See? And 3 bolts right there have got to be unbolted to get your stator out. So next we'll unbolt them and remove the stator. And I might have a spare at my other shop. Looks like that is 11:30 seconds. Sure it ain't. Or 9mm. Either one will work. Now we got those 3 unbolted. Should be able to just pull this stator up and out, hopefully. Well, actually, I see the problem. I may have done it when I pulled it out. I don't know, but it appears that this wire's broke. So I'm gonna have to find another stator or another case, and the brushes look pretty good. They got a little wear on them, but they still a good bit of material left. Well, I got to make a trip out yonder, see if I can find another one. I'm sure I got another one, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got this other one, and I think this one came off the dually and this one came off the diesel truck. So the only difference is the cooling fan's a little bit, I think this is a little bit better cooling fan than this one. But it's already set up like it needs to be. I'm just going to set this out of the way. I may save them for some parts. I'm going to check those rectifiers in there. See if they're any good. This one's doing the same issue. It wasn't charging very well. So we're going to take it apart. And that don't look a whole lot better, but that's the way it is. I have had this one apart because I greased it, but it is intact. So we'll get these 3 screws out of here, 3 nuts. And so here's this one. It's in a little bit better shape. It ain't black. It is dirty though. It's blowing out good. All 3 are together. So this is probably a pretty good stator. So let's compare the inside of these. They're not quite the same. You notice this one has a condenser in it, and this one don't. But other than that, well, this one's got a fuse in it too. That fuse right there, little white thing. This one don't. So we'll leave what's in there in next. It's hard to damn see. This is your diode trio, and it's connected with this bolt right here, so that's got to be removed to get that off. It is a 1/4 inch. You notice these bolts all have a little plastic little plastic insulator on them. You don't want to lose them. So here's our diode trio. Now we're going to take out this other bolt that's holding this fuse in. It don't have an insulator. And here's our fuse. Now we got one more bolt. It's got an insulator on it that's holding the voltage regulator in. And we can pull this up. This is your brush holder, and here's your voltage regulator, and it looks a little worse for wear. That's what I suspect is the problem.